Hey folks, welcome to DocTalk. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to have a great show. My guest today, Dr. Mark Hilton. He is a technical consultant with Elanco Animal Health. He's got 33 plus years in practice, whether it was in DeWitt, Iowa, or Purdue University. We're going to talk about preconditioning and about how the profitability of preconditioning can be for you and your herd. Thanks for joining us today. More to come.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com. This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine. Your stem cells, your health, your life.
Welcome to the show, Dr. Hilton.
Thank you very much, Dan.
Folks, this is a friend and colleague, Dr. Mark Hilton, and he is someone I've wanted to have on the show for a long time, and we finally get him here. Dr. Hilton has been one of the top bovine practitioners in the country. He had 15 years in DeWitt, Iowa. He then went to the University of Purdue, where he was on faculty there at their veterinary school and really set the stage for a lot of things in preconditioning, cow-calf production medicine, beef cattle systems medicine, and has been a national and international leader here for people like me to follow in his career. He now works at Elanco Animal Health and is a technical consultant, and we're so thankful to have you here.
Thanks, Dan. Pleased to be here. I was really honored when you asked me to come and talk, and we were reminiscing before, and I said, I met you before you even got to vet school. Your dad, the dean at the vet school at Iowa State, brought a bunch of students to my production medicine meeting in DeWitt, so I got to meet you then. And so, yeah, we've had a long friendship. That's great.
Been very blessed. We're going to talk about preconditioning today.
Yes.
And some of the things that you said that when we're getting ready for this is that feedlots have a pretty good idea of the value of a preconditioned calf, and maybe some of our producers that own those calves prior to sale don't.
Right. And I've spent most of my career working with the cow-calf producer, and that producer works really hard. They deserve to have more profit in a lot of situations. And one of the ways they can do that, and I believed, was that preconditioning calves could be very profitable for the cow-calf producer. So I actually had a producer in Indiana that said, hey, I want to do this program, and he kept track of every bit of his expenses and his revenues from preconditioning calves to help prove to himself and prove to me, prove to other people that this was a profitable situation. And the bottom line is we had 11 years worth of data on this herd, every penny that he spent on this herd. And I'm a bottom line guy, so I'm going to give you the answer right off the bat.
Right.
Over the 11 years, his average profit return to labor and management was $80.70 per calf. He preconditioned those calves 63 days was his average over the time period. So very significant to his farm. Over the course of the time, it was $90,000 extra dollars return to his labor and management for doing this procedure.
Yeah, and when you start to think about ways to build value into the cattle, which then builds value into your herd, builds a reputation of your herd.
Yes.
There are some things that maybe don't show up as direct marks to the bottom line, but obviously there are some huge opportunities for producers to recoup.
Right. And we sat there and said, where's this money coming from? Where did he make his money? Because so many things you read, I took my preconditioned calves to the sale and I didn't get any more money than the neighbor, that his were not preconditioned, etc. And I get tired of hearing those stories, because are we comparing apples to apples? Do we have the whole story? So we found in this herd that of the $80.70, $50.70 of the profit was from weight gain. Only $30 was due to the, I don't like to use the term preconditioned bonus, I call it the health price advantage, because that's why those producers are paying more for preconditioned calves, because he's less likely to get sick. So 50 of the $80 was things under his control.
Perfect. Folks, when we come back, we're going to dig into some of the data, learn what happened over those 11 years, understand the costs, understand where the money is made. We have Dr. Mark Hilton here from Elanco Animal Health. More after these messages.
Healthy cows start with the new hired hand automatic livestock sprayer. Rancher invented to provide an efficient alternative to pour-on and injectable parasite management systems. The portable design allows cattle to treat themselves head to hoof. Strategic device placement with pass-through activation technology takes the stress out of parasite treatment for cattle and the rancher, leaving more time to tend to other vital tasks on the farm. To learn more, visit cowsprayer.com. The new hired hand makes healthy cows easy.
Ag Promo Source is a unique group of marketing specialists with one mission: help your ag business grow. Each affiliate has their own area of expertise, and they work together to bring you advice, products, and services. To get started, visit agpromosource.com. Ag Promo Source. Together we grow.
This segment brought to you by Santa Fe Trail Meats in Overbrook. Visit us online at sftmeats.com.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. I'm Dr. Dan Thomson here with Dr. Mark Hilton. We're at Kansas State University where we're shooting DocTalk. And Dr. Hilton is one of those people that has been in practice for 15 years, been at the university for 15, is now a technical consultant at Elanco Animal Health. And he is taking that information to get him here on the show. We're talking about preconditioning. Your work in preconditioning and weaning calves has been something that all of us have used in teaching, and we're very appreciative of the work and the collaboration you've had with the producers in Indiana. Talk to me a little bit about this 11-year study, and let's get into some of the specifics on preconditioning.
So when this producer started this, Indiana started a program called Indiana Quality Plus Beef. I'd been in practice in Iowa. The green tag program was super, everybody used it. I mean, it was just unusual if a person didn't use that program. So in Indiana, I thought, hey, we need a program like that. So we started this program, and I got hooked up with this producer in southern Indiana, and he said to me, I'm not making enough money with my cattle. This is a lot of work, and I don't, I want to see a way to make more money. And we talked to him about this program, and he said, I want to try it. I want to see how this goes. And he actually made some money the very first year, about $30 per calf. So that got his attention on the thing. But as we delved into it, his nutrition wasn't good enough on those weaned calves. So we came in and had him work with a nutritionist to put a really good ration together. The first year on the program, his calves gained 1.21 pounds a day. That's terrible. And with a little bit of change in genetics, but a lot of change in nutrition, using an implant, using some ionophore, the calves were gaining 2.87 to 3 pounds a day 5-6 years later when we were on this program. And that's where we realized some of the keys to him making money on his preconditioning program. Number one was average daily gain. The more the calves gained, the more money he made.
And see, I think that some people will have that, they are concerned about pushing those calves too hard because they're afraid of getting them too fleshy.
Oh, yes, I've heard that hundreds of times. So he sold over 1,100 calves, a little over 100 cow herd. He sold 1,100 calves, never got a single calf with a fleshy discount. So they had the right genetics to do this. We weren't pushing a bunch of starch to them. We were using a lot of byproduct feeds, distiller's grain, soy hulls, high fiber feeds that added growth and not fat. The feedlots that bought these calves bought them year after year after year because they loved them. They did super for him. I read about, the health issues and things like that. In the 11 years, 1,100 calves, he had one calf he treated for sickness, a bloat. He had 3 calves that he lost to death. A chronic pneumonia calf, a bloat calf, and a calf that died because of an accident. So death loss and sickness rate in this backgrounding lot was a non-issue. And I see publications about this, and they're scaring the cow-calf producer about these things, and then, I better not do that. And we just did not see that. There was not a problem.
Well, it's just outstanding information. So first of all, folks, genetics, nutrition, steroid implant, getting the proper amount of average daily gain. When we come back, we'll discuss some more about some of the costs and some of the things that are offset by weight gain, preconditioning herds. Dr. Mark Hilton's here. Thanks for joining us.
I had this horse. It was a good horse, except for when the wind was blowing above 30 miles an hour. Wind was blowing about 35, 40, and I saddled him up, rode him out to the end of the lane, and I thought, well, he's doing pretty good. And about 6 jumps later, I was laying on the ground, and thinking, boy, my shoulders sure hurt. I kept waiting and it didn't get better. And so I went to orthopedic surgeon, and that showed that I had torn rotator cuff. And said, well, we'll have to do surgery. I farm and ranch by myself. This is not going to work out very well. I'd been sleeping in my recliner for about 2.5 years because it hurt too much to sleep in bed on my side. I'd heard about Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center on the radio. Gotten down there at 8 o'clock in the morning, and by 11:30 the procedure was all over. They just took some fat out of my side here and spun that down for about 45 minutes and then injected it in my shoulders, and I was on my way. It's something you don't hear about, but I thought it was worth a try, and I'm really pleased. It's really worked out well for me.
Your investment in the Beef Checkoff is opening new doors for beef. Today and tomorrow, our commitment to long-term planning helps ensure your profitability from one generation to the next.
Hello, this is Caleb Plyler and Son Charolais. This is my son Hook and my wife Brianna. And we operate a purebred Charolais operation in Hope, Arkansas. You know, in the business that we're in, the beef checkoff dollars are very important to us. A lot of that money is to educate people, just like kids that's in Huck's class, the importance of eating beef. You know, it's a high protein product that it's a very important part of our diet. Sometimes we get this bad rap as beef is not, you know, what we really need to be doing from a dietary standpoint. But, you know, being able to get to the kids and let them know that, you know, beef, it is what needs to be for dinner. You know, one of the bigger things with our family is getting to go out and show off some of our cattle. Huck, he gets to show a lot of heifers.
A lot of what we do trying to get him into showing is the fact that it's teaching him discipline, respect for the animals, and it's going to continue to give him lifelong skills throughout his life.
But I think it's very important that, you know, the next generation understands how important the beef industry is. Just like Huck here, we plan on him one day operating this farm. And, you know, if we can do that, we're doing what we need to. Because, you know, this country is founded upon people that, you know, have family traditions and do a really good job of keeping those traditions going. Huck, one day, what kind of cows do you want to grow up to have, you think?
Charolais.
Charolais, all right. You know, if the beef checkoff dollars are going to really good causes and really promoting beef, then the consumers are going to want to buy more beef, and that leads for us making more money in the end, and it really helps the quality of people's cow herds because we're able to enhance our genetics even more.
Hi, I'm Kim Mandring with Hardy Insurance. I'm here to help you with all of your farm and ranch needs. When it comes to protecting your operation and your family, you need a name you can trust at a price you can afford. Call me today or visit hardyaviationins.com.
Sure Crop Fertilizers was started by my father, Don Sherman, and my mother, Shirley Sherman. Family business that started in the 80s. We predominantly focus on plant nutrients and what we can do to give growers better responses with the fertilizer dollars that they do, and what we can do to make those things work better for the grower. We're based out of Seneca, Kansas. We work with growers in their soil analysis to figure out what they need, and then we can put those in a blend that gives them the best results, and so that we can deliver that direct to their farm so that they have those nutrients where they need them, when they need them, and so that they can apply them in a manner that's very efficient to them and works well in their planting systems and what they're doing. Sure Crop Fertilizers has been around for a long time. We always say we're big enough to take care of everything you need, but yet we're small enough to do it quickly. You can get a hold of us at 1-800-635-4743. Our website is surecropfertilizers.com, and you can always email me at Corey@surecropfertilizers.com, and with any questions you have, we'll be glad to answer it and work with you.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. Progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thomson here with Dr. Mark Hilton. We're here at Kansas State University. Dr. Hilton has spent his career in bovine practice and at the University of Purdue, and we're so thankful to have him here to talk to us about the lessons learned in preconditioning. And I know this was a special topic for you because of not only the working with the cattle, but the producers that and specifically one family that worked with you. But in this study, talk to us a little bit about, well, I hear people say, I'm not going to make any money, or it's not worth it to me.
Yeah.
What have we learned about some of the economics?
Yeah. Like I said, we were really surprised in this 11-year study because there was one of the years that the market actually turned south when he was preconditioning his calves, and he was really concerned. He said, well, I think you found a year that I'm going to have lost money preconditioning, and he didn't, because the feed cost was so low that year he actually made it. So all 11 years he made money preconditioning the calves. The average of the entire 11 years was $80.70, and again, I emphasize the big deal was weight gain. And you don't know what the calves are going to bring at the auction. You don't have control over that. You have control over what the calves gain. I also, the last 3 years on the program, I said, I want you to keep track of every minute that you spend on these calves. And we want to figure an hourly wage. What was your hourly wage for preconditioning these calves? And it was between, I'm going to look at my notes because I can't remember exactly, $55 and $130 an hour. And I always say to my students, I said, I can't think of much legal you can do to make $130 an hour. And the other thing that he did that I thought was really neat, he had a whole herd financial analysis done of his beef herd, a SPA analysis. Everything, kept track of all of his finances for a year. And that year, I don't remember, it was in the mid-90s, made $20 per cow per year for owning those beef cows, which was pretty typical. And so he called me after he got the financial analysis done. He goes, let me get this straight. I own the cow for 12 months and I make $20. I own the calf for an additional 2 months and I make $80. So I make 4 times more money for owning the calf for 2 months than the cow for 12. He said, why is everybody not doing this? And I says, well, people get bad information that it isn't cost effective, or they don't understand that, it's really possible to do this. And he says, well, I want you to use my data everywhere to teach the cow-calf producer to do this, and I've always said in my career, these guys work way too hard to not make enough money. And people will say, well, who should precondition? If you have above average health and above average genetics, you should precondition your calves. If you have below average of both those, then you shouldn't.
And tell me a little bit about why we would or why we wouldn't if we don't have the right genetics or health.
Because the health, if you have a bunch of sickness in those calves in the preconditioning period, that's going to hurt average daily gain on these calves. You could lose calves. If your genetics are not good enough, you're not going to have calves gaining 2.5 to 3 pounds a day. They need to have the genetic ability to gain that kind of weight. If the calves only have the ability to gain about a pound, pound and a half a day, you're not going to, I've done the math, and you're not going to make it. I just did the cost analysis for this fall, and cost of gain, some rations we put together were 40 cents per pound of gain. Calves are selling for $1.50. When you figure the price slide in there, every additional pound you put on the calves is gaining you $1. So let's see. I'm going to hand you 40 cents, and you're going to hand me $1. How long? I'd do that as long as we could do it.
I've been involved in a few deals like that on the wrong end.
Yeah, but that's the way it, 40 cents to make $1. It's amazing to me that, why isn't everybody doing this? That's my question.
Great. Folks, when we come back, we'll do a wrap-up on preconditioning economics and profitability here with Dr. Mark Hilton.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
ValleyVet.com, ValleyVet.com, Valley Vet Supply.
Hi, I'm Kim Mandring with Hardy Insurance. I'm here to help you with all of your farm and ranch needs. When it comes to protecting your operation and your family, you need a name you can trust at a price you can afford. Call me today or visit hardyaviationins.com.
We do business with Blueville because of the quality of their work. It is excellent quality, and because they make a commitment to their customers.
We enjoy the benefits of hiring a good company to help us maintain this home.
We will always do business with Blueville. We have for many, many years, and there's no reason for us to look for any other service.
As fourth-generation farmers themselves, Heinen Brothers Ag Service understands the risk and rewards of farming. So when it comes to quality aerial and ground application, fertilizer, ag chemicals, and anhydrous ammonia, call Heinen Brothers Ag today, 800-760-4964.
Thanks for joining me today for Boehringer Ingelheim's Cattle First. When we start to think about labels that are on bottles of antibiotics, it's extremely important that we follow them. The first thing that's on the label, what species is this indicated for? So it might be for cattle, for horses, for dogs, or cats. Once we understand the species that these products are labeled for, what's the indication? Bovine respiratory disease. Could it be for foot rot? There's a list of species, indications. After that, what's the dosage, what's the route of administration, and then what's the withdrawal time, or the time in which it's safe to take an animal to slaughter from the time in which the animal was last treated until that animal was slaughtered. So, species, indication, dosage, route of administration, withdrawal. All of these are important components on the label, so make sure that you follow them and use antibiotics judiciously. Boehringer Ingelheim's Cattle First.
No matter where, no matter why, the Veterinary Health Center at Kansas State University is committed to providing quality patient care to animals and exceptional customer service to their owners. From routine checkups to emergency and specialty care, our world-renowned specialists and experienced professionals are here to discover, to teach, and to heal.
Let us know.
How can I help? How can we help?
This segment brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or more information, go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook or Twitter.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thomson here with Dr. Mark Hilton, who is a veterinarian with Elanco Animal Health, former practitioner in DeWitt, Iowa, former faculty member at the University of Purdue. We're thankful to get him here to be on the show. When we're talking about preconditioning, you've kind of got us to the point now of just kind of a wrap up in general. What are some bullet points for our people out there saying, well, I need to precondition this year? What are some things you would do to kind of get the ball rolling?
So I've asked my producers that. I said, why? What was successful for you on this program? And almost to the client, they said, a team approach. You brought in the health aspect, but we needed nutrition help. So we got our feed dealer involved. We got the nutritionist from that feed dealer involved. I called the local feeder auction and said, hey, we're going to have these preconditioned calves. Are you going to have a special sale? Yeah, we've got this special sale, and here it is. And so that's what they've told me, is that if they can get 2 or 3 people to help them that are all on the same page, helping them with the profitability of their calves, then it's pretty easy to get there.
So get the vet on board, get the nutritionist on board, get a hold of the person that's marketing the calves, get a game plan together. It's one of those things that folks, you're leaving money sit on the table. I know that I know that you sit there and you say, well, it's easier to go out there, gather the calves, put them on the truck, hit the truck on the back and say it's somebody else's problem now.
Right. And I think we should be past that. We didn't talk at all about animal welfare, and that's a whole nother leg of this stool of preconditioning. Most producers want to be proud of their calves when they leave that farm or ranch. And if that calf's fully preconditioned, weaned, vaccinated, bunk broke, ready to go, that next guy's going to have a success. And I always told our cow-calf guys, I said, you really should want the feedlot owner to get rich feeding your calves. Because if he does, he's going to come back. And this herd, my test herd, he sold the calves through the auction market for the first 3 years, and the buyers loved his calves. And they said, we're going to be there to buy your calves. We know what your calves did for us.
And it's no different than packers or anything. They're keeping track of the information, and information is knowledge if you have the information.
Yeah.
And they've got it, and that's the reason why you get repeat visits, you get premiums, things to that nature.
You bet. Yeah, these calves have a resume.
Hey, it's a great way to put it. Well, thanks a million for being on the show.
You bet.
Thank you for watching DocTalk. Remember, always work with your local veterinarian, and if you want to know more about what we do here on DocTalk, you can find us on the web at www.doctalktv.com. I'm Dr. Dan Thomson here with Dr. Mark Hilton. Thank you so much for watching DocTalk and being great guests. I'll see you down the road.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.